What's up, my guys, and welcome back to the Wrestling Report Card. I'm your host, Cody, and for the 12 of y'all that do tune in, I apologize. I took a couple weeks off, but tonight, we're back at it like a chiropractic, baby. So, what I do on this show is I take a wrestling show, break down each match, give it a letter grade. At the end, I tally them son bitches up and get that show its own report card. So tonight, it's AEW Dynamite. Winter is coming, and for those of y'all that know, this has always been a huge night in the company. I mean, this was the night that Sting debuted, also the night that Kenny Omega took the belt off of Jon Moxley, and tonight, it's no different because we got the title on the line again as MJF makes his first defense against Rocky the Pebble Starks. I tell you what, not only that, but we got the fourth match in that epic series going on between the Elite and Death Triangle for the AEW Trios Championships. Speaking of the Trios division, we also got the in-ring return of the House of Black, where I think they literally murdered some people on live TV. I don't really know what to think about that, but we'll get to that later. Plus, we got the AEW Dynamite return of a certain son of a Tasmanian submission machine that I happen to enjoy very much. So I was excited about that. So as y'all can tell, we got a lot to talk about. So without further ado, go on and buckle up your seatbelts. And let's get to great. So starting us off tonight, we got the Elite taking on Death Triangle in match 4 of their best of 7 series. And remember, the winner of the series will be crowned the new AEW Trios Champions. So Death Triangle entered this sumbitch up 2-1 over Omega and the Young Bucks. And I tell you what, this series has delivered nothing but bangers, my guy. And tonight was no different. The Elite came out and just opened a can of whoop ass, what? All over Death Triangle. Unfortunately though, it looked like Nick Jackson went down with an ankle injury and he had to be brought to the back. This allowed Death Triangle to just wear down Matt Jackson, and when we got back from the break, Kenny Omega finally tagged in, and my guy was doing work, as at this point it was basically 1-on-3. And I mean, this was all just pure chaos. These guys were hitting brainbusters, moonsaults, a fear factor on the apron, reverse Spanish flies. I mean, I tell you what. Then Pac set up for the Black Arrow, but he missed, and at this time, Nick Jackson made his way back to the ring, and Omega was able to tag him in, but with the rest back turn, Penta El Cero Melo grabbed that infamous hammer and struck Nick in the injured ankle with that sumbitch. Ray Phoenix quickly put him in the sharpshooter. Kenny Omega ran in and tried to save the day, but Pac caught his ass and put him in a brutalizer, leaving Jackson no other choice but to tap out. And to everyone's surprise, the Elite go down 3-1 in the series, and they gotta channel their inner LeBron as Kenny Omega gets on the mic and says, let's make all weapons legal, not just the hammers. By God, in match 5, it's gonna be no DQs. So I bid you adieu, good night, and bang. Man, if you say it, Cody, you have to put a grade on that, I'm giving it an A again. This series does not miss. Next up, we got the tag team champs, the Acclaimed, making their way down to the ring. And I have to admit, Max Caster came out with some way better bars than he dropped last week. But before he could finish and then make it down to the ring, out came Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Sanjay, and the 7'4" Satnam Singh, who just wiped out the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass. Max Caster tried fighting back, but Double J smashed that damn car over his head before calling him a bitch and then saying scissor that slap nut. Ah, man, I know I'm gonna get some hate for this, but I've enjoyed Double J's run so far here in AEW. I mean, we all know him and Lethal won't win, but this feud immediately makes that group feel like a big deal, and I can't lie, I'm entertained, my guy. What do you want me to say? For that, I'm going to give it a B-. I'm excited to see where this goes. And obviously we know, like I said, the Acclaimed's going to win. But who's going to be their next challengers? Nobody knows. Well, next up, you got Jungle Boy Jack taking on Brian Cage in the fallout from that Battle Royale. And Cage started off just using his strength advantage by suplexing Jack all over the place. I mean, he even started curling that sumbitch like a damn barbell before just dropping him. We came back from the break and business was picking up. Jungle Boy countered a powerbomb with a DDT. Cage answered with a full Nelson drive. Jack was able to counter again, this time with a destroyer. He followed that up with the snare trap and even had Brian Cage tapping out. But his embassy buddy distracted the ref, who didn't see it. So Cage quickly tried to gain the upper hand from this, but Jungle Boy kept his head on a swivel and was able to Rhodes Cage up and get the 1, 2, 3. After the match, Jungle Boy got on the mic and said, look here, I've already beaten Luchasaurus, I've already beaten Brian Cage, so now I want the biggest bitch of all, I'm talking Big Bill. So the firm Stokely Hathaway then came out, started talking his shit, telling Jungle Boy not only is Big Bill gonna whoop your butt, but I'm gonna slap your whole ass. I mean, sheesh. But then as Jungle Boy made his way down to beat up Stokely Hathaway, out came the firm's Lee Moriarty and Big Bill himself. Now before they could really lay the smackdown onto him, to everyone's surprise, out came none other than my guy, Hook. And I tell you what, the firm didn't want no part of that boy. As he ran down, he cleared the ring and it looked like he extended the olive branch out to Jungle Boy as he helped him up. So hopefully, this means that it's finally time to push Hook to the moon. Man, for the match and everything that happened after, I entertained that, man. That was really, I was really entertained by that. Y'all know what I meant. I'm gonna give it a B+. But we gotta keep moving, because up next, we go backstage where we got Big Jon Moxley ahead of his match this Friday against Sammy Guevara. He not only sent shots at Sammy, he not only sent shots at Sammy, but he also sent him at Hangman Page before walking off. And I gotta say, Hangman Page is really growing on me. I mean, it seems like every feud he's in lately, it has felt real. CM Punk, sorry. Come on, you know how to get one of those in there. Man, I feel like I can't talk right now. I'm out here sharting, I entertain, I don't know what the hell I'm saying. But thank y'all for sticking with me. Up next, we got the House of Black taking on... Does it really even matter? I mean, whatever, if you have to know. The Factory stepped up to the plate, including Big Nick Camarado. But before the match even started, Julia Hart got up in that big son bitch's face and split the black mask at him. Now, with Malachi eerily sitting in the corner, Buddy and Brody absolutely laid out everything moving, leaving just QT in the ring. And y'all pray for my guy, because Malachi kicked the apples out of that boy. I tell you what, and before you could even say Ace Steel, he made the cover, and the House of Black got the 1, 2, 3 in dominating fashion. I mean, what else did y'all want to happen? I'm gonna give that a B-. That's what we need to be doing with them. And before we get them into a big feud with, I don't know, the Elite, yeah, let's make them look like some badasses. Well, hey, up next, we got the former Ring of Honor champion, the Ocho, Chris Jericho, taking on Action Andretti, aka the Jobber. So pissed off after losing his Ring of Honor title to Claudio this past weekend, Chris Jericho said coming into this match, he had to win the tune-up against this Jobber. And I'm not gonna lie, this match gave me Cena versus Angle vibes. Yeah, I'm talking about ruthless aggression. And I can't even make this part up. At one point, this entire crowd was chanting, "Let's go, Jobber." But not for long, because Y2J landed the codebreaker. He got the 1, he got the 2, but by God, I'll be damned, the Jobber kicked out. As said Jobber started gaining momentum, boom, Y2J went for the Judas effect and the Walls of Jericho, but both times Andretti countered and damn near got the roll-up. Next thing you know, the Jobber hit a running shooting star press, and I called it. Before the match even said, I said this kid's gonna beat Jericho tonight. The Jobber got the 1, 2, 3, and in what we thought was gonna be a tune-up match, Jericho got his ass tuned up, brother. And I mean, for that, I'm gonna give it a B+. That's exactly what this kid needed. Now let's do right and book this kid well, because I definitely got some John Cena with a little mix of Will Ospreay vibes coming from him. But hey, that's just me. I'm dumb. I know. Well, next up, after hearing from Maxi Pad earlier, it's now time to hear from Rocky the Pebble ahead of their showdown in the main event for the AEW Triple B title as MJF defends against Ricky Starks. But first, we make a stop in the women's division, and over 100 days after Tay Melo broke her nose, Ruby Soho finally gets her grudge match against her. After an early assault from Tay Melo, we finally got the bell rung, and I tell you what, Ruby wasn't happy about all that. She loaded her up for not 1, not 2, but 3 of them suplexes. Ty then acted like she was gonna leave, but when Soho went and tracked her down, Ty reached up, grabbed that nose that she broke, and then followed that up with a hammerlock DDT on that nose on top of the steel ramp. Back in the ring, Ruby then missed from the top rope, which allowed Ty to hit a nasty pump kick, and you guessed it, it landed right on that damn nose again. But the move that broke Soho's nose last time was the Ty KO. So with Ruby laid out in the middle of the ring, she loaded up for the Ty KO, but Ruby was ready for it this time. She countered with a knee of her own, followed by the Destination Unknown. She made the cover and got the 1, 2, 3 in a return match over the woman who put her on the shelf with a broken nose. Afterwards, though, Anna Jay ran out to her girl Ty's side and then slammed Ruby face first, or should I say nose first? I mean, that poor nose, man. For that match, I'm gonna slap a B on it. I mean, these ladies really showed up and showed out. But we're at the point in the episode, y'all know the drill. That's enough of the talk. Because after all the promos, the intros, the pyro, the games, gimmicks, after all the tomfoolery, it's time for the main event. In his first title defense since defeating Jon Moxley for the chip at Full Gear, it's MJF taking on Ricky Starks for both the AEW title and the Dynamite Diamond Ring. So Starks came out of the gates hot, perhaps a little too hot, because as the ref was pulling him out of the corner, Max thumbed him in the eye, and I tell you what, that bastard. So we come back from the break to both men jockeying for position. Starks damn near got the 3 count off a sit-out Liger bomb, but the champ kicked out. During all of this, MJF smartly was attacking that arm of Starks to soften it up for the salt of the earth armbar. He then hit a powerbomb of his own, and then MJF not so smartly just started slapping Starks in the face, which Starks struck back harder, and then the two just started teeing off of each other before, boom, it starts with the spear, but that injured arm prevented him from making the cover all the way to the end of the 10 count. And then when he did make the cover, MJF grabbed that arm, he applied the salt of the earth onto Pebbles, but then somehow Starks hit the ropes, and I tell you what, that was no easy task because MJF countered each time he tried to reach for it. After that finally got broken up, Starks quickly struck with a roll-up. MJF kicked out. Both guys then traded side headlocks. Then Starks with a super kick. He went for the Rochambeau. MJF escaped and quickly grabbed the ref. As the ref broke free from his grasp, MJF quickly hit Starks with a low blow, and by the time the ref turned back around, MJF had Rocky rolled up and got the 1, 2, 3 in his first title defense. However, as the champ was walking off, out came the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, who chased Maxi Pad's ass all the way back down the ramp, and he had the champ fleeing all the way through the AEW Galaxy. Man, what a main event. I'm going to give that an A-. That's exactly how I'm going to expect all of MJF's title defenses to go. And we set up for the next big feud with Bryan Danielson. Hey, how is any of y'all going to be mad? This is going to be a great title run all the way up to the bidding war of 2024. Well, y'all know what it is. We came to another time in this episode where we've got all the grades in. So now let's take a look at the report card. After tallying everything up, we came out with a final letter grade of a B+. That's right, at 87%. And I think as wrestling fans, we can all admit that wrestling has just been phenomenal lately, or sports entertainment, whatever y'all want to call it. Hey, once again, shout out to Bobby OG, Bobby Knifehawk on the beat, man. He's really been coming through for me. Other than that, man, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment on the video, let me know how dumb I look or how dumb I sound. Other than that, I hope everybody out there, y'all stay safe and have a nice day.